Hey, Sydney, congratulations and welcome to Philly.
I appreciate it. I'm beyond excited to be here.
We'll get started here with Ed Kratz and then Chris Franklin.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, Sydney, congratulations. First of all, what was your interaction like with the Eagles pre-draft, and what do you know about this team coming in?
Well, the one thing I do know is that it's a championship program. Definitely prestigious. It's definitely prestigious to be a part of such an organization. But again, going into the process, I didn't know too much. I mean, I met with them once in Indy. Had a little meeting with them in at the Senior Bowl, and that's all I heard. So they were kind of on my radar going into the third round, and I'm beyond blessed to have them pick me.
Go ahead, Chris, and then Dave Zangaro.
Hey, Sydney, welcome to Philly, man. I know you should have a love of boxing. You actually took part in some of it a little bit as well. How do you use that boxing acumen into your game, and also what was your record? When you were boxing.
So when I was a kid, I boxed until I was about 14, and I was undefeated here in Canada. So I don't know if that's impressive to anybody, but I use it to cross train. I use it to cross train a little bit. I think the one thing that it really taught me was just a sense of fluency. Definitely, when you strike, also moving targets when you're, catching a receiver, or, eyeing down on a tackle, right? So I think it's just kind of taught me to, punch on the move and be on the fly. But boxing was something that I took when I was younger. It's really my first love before I got into football. But yeah.
Go ahead, Dave, and then John McMullen.
Hey, Sydney. The Eagles said that the Senior Bowl really helped them complete their evaluation of you, getting to see you in some different situations. What was that week like for you in Mobile? And did you feel like that really helped your draft stock as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got two opportunities here in the process. It was the Senior Bowl and then the NFL Combine. I definitely went in the mindset at the Senior Bowl to say, hey, if I'm better at the end of day 3 than I was day 1, then I'm going to be in a good spot by the end of it. And I was just trying to be the best version of myself each and every day. And I just kind of manifested that mentality throughout the entire week, and kind of came to my favor. But, I know my ability. I'm confident in what I do. I know what I do well, and I know what I need to work on. So it was definitely a week that propelled my draft stock. And again, it was just a unique opportunity when you have all the NFL scouts in front of you. But I'm glad that the Eagles caught their eye on me.
Go ahead, John, and then Robkestner.
Hey, Sydney, congratulations. To kind of further that, the Eagles kind of said yesterday, you're getting to see you play more in the post as a post safety rather than in the box, really solidified their thought process when it came to your projection at the next level. How comfortable are you playing, single high or away from the line of scrimmage?
Well, I came from a system that was mainly man coverage. Ryan Walters definitely instilled a lot of man pressures and zero blitzes, which distilled a post safety. And it just wasn't my role at Illinois. I know I can do it well. I know I can be dominant playing the post, but it's all about repetition, but I'm confident that if they put me back there, that I'll be able to produce in any way I can.
Go ahead, Rob, and then Josh Solentino.
Hey, Sydney, congrats. 2 questions. One, I might have waited my whole life to ask a football draftee, are you a hockey fan? But being that you're from Ontario, Canada, are you a hockey fan or are you a Flyer fan? And secondly, I saw you. Are you?
I'm a hockey fan. I'm from Ontario, Toronto. Definitely a Toronto Maple Leafs guy, but with the love of the city and the opportunity that Philadelphia has provided me, I've definitely look at the Flyers a little bit more.
All right, and secondly, your NFL 360 story that came out recently is just remarkable. Obviously, you can't sum all that up in one question, but can you talk a little bit about your motivation and how what you've been through has helped you to reach this stage?
Yeah, well, the journey is just the beginning of something that really pushed my brother and I. I think the relationship that my brother and I shared really propelled us into the position that I am now. And definitely coming from the background we did, it gave us a reason to push harder, especially with the family that I'm coming from, and what they did to sacrifice to put me in the position that I am now, right? I guess you kind of look at it and you look at the story and where we came from, and you can say, yeah, I mean, it wasn't probable that they'd be successful or, make a mark at the NFL, especially being from Canada. But I think after we went to Florida and we were around some amazing people that, helped change our lives, not only from like a mental standpoint, but just routine based. I think the habits that you produce and live by day-to-day basis really lead into who you are and how productive you are as a person, right? But again, like I don't think anybody's surprised by where we are and what we're doing. I'm definitely not. I live my routine. I live football, and it's definitely a unique opportunity. I'm so blessed to be sitting here now saying that I am a Philadelphia Eagle.
Go ahead, Josh and Zach Berman.
Hey, Sydney, I guess building, also on your journey at Illinois, you played, came in under Lovey and then stayed on with Brett and Ryan, who you mentioned. What was that like, going through different staffs and putting yourself in the position that you did this past year to get this opportunity to be drafted?
Yeah, well, I was definitely blessed that Lovey Sis brought me in, and being versatile and knowing different systems really you learn football. I came into college not only knowing how to play cover one, and that was the only thing I knew. So I learned a lot from Lovey Smith, and obviously with the transition with Coach B and Coach Waltz, they really just instilled confidence in our entire defense, and that was the difference. Guys were playing fast, guys weren't thinking, they're just reacting, and I think that was special, and I think that's why we did the things we did this year. With the testament to the work that the coaches put in with us. But yeah.
Go ahead, Zach, and then Jeff McLean.
Hey, Sydney, congratulations. You've made a few references on this call to Canada. What type of pride do you take in your Canadian heritage, especially reaching the NFL?
Well, it's funny. I'm watching the draft today, and I saw a couple other Canadians get drafted. Hopefully my brother here in a little bit. I was actually just watching them here before I hopped on the call. But it's definitely something to take pride in. There's not a lot of Canadians that have experienced this opportunity before. There's definitely some guys ahead of me, like John Mechie and Jesse Lukita and a plethora of other Canadians that have done it before me. But if you really look into this year, there's a big group of us that have made that step into pursuing the NFL and having the opportunity to get drafted. So I hope it's just something that inspires the younger generation here, not only in London, Ontario, but all of Canada, and kind of gives them like a sense of purpose and guidance to say, yeah, I can do it. And it's possible to do it from Canada.
If I can quickly follow up, what role does the NFL have, or I guess the popularity of the NFL in Canada, or is it more the CFL that you followed as a kid?
I didn't even watch football. I'll be honest. When I was in college, I thought that Alabama and South Dakota were on the same level. Like I thought they were playing the same conference. So I was very naive to the entire thing of football. I was a big boxing fan growing up, but there's definitely a solid environment around the CFL. But I'd say the NFL definitely takes priority up here.
We'll take two more. Go ahead, Jeff, and then Ed.
Sydney, I'm sure there's probably not enough time here to go into detail about your childhood and maybe some of the challenges that you and your brother and your mother went through. But can you describe the moment when you heard your name and you hugged your mother and thinking about how you guys have overcome them? What were your feelings at that moment?
Oh, well, I didn't know what to think. I was sitting there all night, kind of projecting in my mind where I was going to go. I had a great surrounding family around me watching the event with me. So, words really can't explain that moment. I kind of describe it like it's a drug that you get once and you're never able to take it again because it's the best feeling in the world. So it was something that it was just special. You think about the journey that me and my brother have had, and what we've been through, and it just kind of marks the start to something new. It's the start to a new journey, right? So, getting the NFL is one thing, but sustaining and being a productive player and helping the team win games is another thing. So I guess that's kind of where my mind's at now. The goal was to get drafted and go to the NFL, and, that's done. So it's always about what's next. And that's about, helping the Philadelphia Eagles be productive and compete.
Last question here with Ed.
Yeah, Sydney, 6 interceptions last year, 10 in your career. What's the secret sauce there? Why so effective there?
I mean, I took advantage of my opportunities. I feel like I could have had 10 last year, but I took advantage when I saw the ball. That's all it's about, capitalizing when you see it. And I did exactly so, but that means nothing. What I did in college means nothing. It's all about what I do now, and I'm going to be productive. I want to be a great teammate. I want to be a leader in the locker room, and do anything I can to be productive for this football team.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for your time, Sydney.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks.